Good morning and welcome to your Saturday, April 5th, 2025 self-love reading. Just want to make sure that's the spread we're doing today. Yeah, it is self-love. Okay. Saturday is self-love. I just made myself a cup of tea, but he had one of his broths for breakfast. But he gets very excited when I go into the kitchen because he thinks he's gonna get a treat. So I hope y'all can see his head. I think so. I know. He's such a good boy. Thank you for joining us today. It's, yesterday I had just a bag of raw and salted pistachios, and then I had one of his little Sheba jerky sticks on my desk. So surprisingly, I'll give him a pistachio or two here and there. So he likes to have those. So I gave him 2 yesterday, and on top of that, his little treat. So I think he's been trying yesterday evening, he was trying to jump up here, and so he's definitely a smart boy. I just have to be careful with. I'm actually my brother and I are trying to, make like a timed feeding schedule. So I set an alarm with a specific tone, and so I'm gonna hopefully, just basically the plan is to just feed him when the alarms go off, so that he can associate food with that sound, because he loves to eat. He always has. And he's the only animal in the house right now, but he's lived with other groups of animals in the past, and he'll always he's one of the ones to go and kind of eat out of everyone's bowls and that kind of thing. So all right, everyone, so this is going to be a 4-card spread. Okay, let's take a look. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the 2 of Swords in the reverse. So I'm taking this as the overall energy in the reading, and I feel that you pretty much just recently pulled yourself out of a stalemate situation. So right now, with the way the cards landed, I really feel definitely that I'm speaking to the feminine collective here, guys, for sure. And because that's what I'm seeing, like in the inner, in the 5D, okay, as you're as above and as within. And I feel that in the 3D, though, yes, there was someone you were dealing with, guys, a masculine energy. And you can see how, the masculine card energy, or not even the masculine energies, disregard that I said that. The masculine characters or the cards came out in the reverse, whereas the feminines came out in the upright. So yeah, so you just had to pull yourself up out of something, and I'm definitely picking up on that. It was a romantic connection or something of the sort, guys. And I feel that this person could be younger than you. But regardless of that, I feel that, with the page, guys, it's considered a court card. So we have the page, the knight, the queen, and the king. So the page you can think of as a very, or at least you can think of it as a more of a immature energy, right, than compared to that of a king. So, I feel that they could have come in, there was definitely some grounded energy to them. You're very grounded, and they came in as grounded. But I also feel that perhaps they were, take it as it resonates, but they could have been, breadcrumbing you or giving you little bits of energy to go off of, if you will. This will really resonate if you reflect back and feel that you were almost putting yourself in the position of chasing them. And you can take the word chasing lightly, but even more so that you were putting in the effort. You were trying to spend time with their energy, but you felt like, and maybe y'all did spend a lot of time together. So again, either they only saw you when it was convenient, or you guys saw each other a lot, but all the things that they were telling you, all the things they were doing, just in the end didn't come to pass. And I feel that there was a little bit of deceit here, if you will, because they came in with grounded energy. 2 Pentacles cards. So they came in as, very grounded. You felt like you could trust them. That this was the type of person you were looking for. But, you realize, I feel pretty quickly on. I don't feel like this, I feel like that this situation with this person was roughly about a few months. To like half year. I don't think it was like well into a year though. But anyway, you just found yourself like, hold on, like, you just started to feel like you couldn't see clearly. You were starting to perhaps doubt yourself. And you started to put up, even subconsciously, like, defensive, like you were starting to become defensive in a way, trying, again, just subconsciously to protect yourself. And I think that this person was actually really trying to come after your independence. They may have had a problem about where you worked. God forbid you work with the opposite sex, or something like that. Or, they had a problem with maybe your hobbies. Something that you did that they didn't really care much for, maybe because you were shining your light a little too brightly, so maybe if you were on, just take for example, social media, but they didn't like the fact that, their person is, not to say you were like showing your ass or anything like that, but more, it just really, they just didn't like the, attention essentially that was given to you, right, and not them. And I also feel that they had a problem with your friends. I feel, they definitely probably had comments to say about your friends, or it's like, why do you hang out with these people, or like, these aren't the type of people you should be hanging out with. Like, they had concerns. All the meanwhile, like, look at their friends. Like, I'm sorry, what? You got, yeah, I can't really go much more into it than that, but, that should resonate if so. But they definitely just, yeah, you realize pretty quickly on that you had to start kind of protecting yourself. It was like you felt like this type of things that they asked you, or that just, at the same, you just didn't feel like you could really be yourself, your full self around them for fear of being kind of, you know, judged, or not even judged, just the fact that they would have something to say. It was like, you just didn't really want to deal with it. Okay. Now, let's move on though. This card is coming in for something to love about yourself. Okay, so I was like, what do we the Three of Cups. So this really, guys, something to love about yourself is the fact that I really feel that with this card is that you're always going to put your emotional stability before anyone else, okay? The Three of Cups, the energy here really speaks to, it's essentially like community and friendships, and I feel that you guys, you actually are very selective of your friends, and this is where I went back to saying, it's like I felt this energy that you would always put yourself first, your emotional stability. The Three of Cups indicates that in career matters, that your hobbies may become more important than your main profession. So I really feel that you are right now really just going after what brings you emotional joy, but definitely in the career sector or in the area of finance. But right now, you guys, you're experiencing financial stability, or you're reaching financial milestones. Okay. And I feel like you're going to really be celebrating. I want to say it's like, thank goodness that you only let it get to the Two of Swords. And I feel like you stopped it. You stopped it. You felt that stalemate, and you knew it's like, if I don't do this now, because you didn't trust this person. Absolutely not. Maybe when they came in this energy and you were watching them, you were watching the energies, and you realized pretty quickly they showed their colors very quickly. And what a blessing that is, guys. Okay. But you're just, there's going to be a little bit of pain here to deal with, right? But you're going to definitely just move on in celebration. You're going to gather together with friends, family, people, your community, people that make you happy. And, you just may enjoy, upcoming celebrations or attending parties. However that looks to you. Yeah. And this Three of Cups, it really does speak to the fact that an engagement is possible. So, with that being said, guys, I just feel like the fact of the matter is that is what is here. That's what you should love about yourself, is the fact that you pulled yourself out of the situation before it got, to the Ten of Swords or to the Nine of Swords, for example. Actually, as I'm saying, I'm like, dude, you pulled that out before it got to the Three of Swords, and good on you. Like, they didn't get that chance to really stab you in the heart because you dipped out. You dipped out, and now you're hanging out with your friends, talking about this like low vibe energy over here, and you're literally just healing in yourself right now, guys. And you're looking forward to the future. So, oh yeah, I went off track. So what to love about yourself, the main message I'm getting here is the fact that when you put yourself first, the fact that you did put yourself first and you got out of here, at the Two of Swords energy, that is, to me, saying that this card, the energy, speaks to the fact that your person, like, there's the absolute potential, like the potential is there to find your person along this journey, in this human experience of yours. So continue to stay in this energy, guys, and you will attract, what you're vibrating out. So far so good here, guys. I'm just like, very good job. So that's something to love about yourself, and I notice, just I never really talk about it, but definitely like all the pumpkins, and so some there may be a grand celebration that may be occurring in the fall time, of this year. So maybe someone you know, family, sibling, parent, I don't know, is getting, or like aunt, uncle, something, maybe getting engaged or married, or excuse me, engaged mostly is what the energy of this card is speaking to. Or you may attend an engagement party, or just be in the vicinity of someone that proposes to someone else. But you know that's just something I felt I had to say. So maybe something there could resonate with you, especially if you know someone's having an engagement party like in the fall time. Okay, now where can you be more patient with yourself? We have the Six of Pentacles. This is really about, the Six of Pentacles, it really speaks to generosity. Okay, now with it coming in the reverse, however, okay, so an area to be more patient with yourself. I think that you're definitely still reflecting, guys. You're definitely still reflecting on this situation. And I feel that you may be getting, and I can attest, I've been there. My friend was just going through this last week, like the last week or two. But, feeling like you're thinking back on like the way this person treated you, they treated you very unequally. They could have extorted you in some force or fashion, but they abused the love that that you were showing them, because it was an innocent, you really did care for this person. You were coming from a good place. Whereas like it's just the fact that it's like there was a power dynamic, situation. I feel like this person could have really thought, lesser of, in if, some way about like the feminine collective, how we perhaps, how women are carrying themselves, whatever, just, I mean, if you should already know the mindset I'm going there with this person. But, in some form or fashion, guys, it's like they were just dishonest with you, so I think you're just thinking right now, you're still in that, there's still that mind, there's still those thoughts that are creeping in about how they were, they took advantage of the situation, of the connection. They, they could have been really controlling as well. Again, yeah, because it's like they were already trying to start taking away your independence, telling you what you were doing that they liked and didn't like. They were having an issue with your friends. So it just kind of like it's like this took these energies, essentially, like it's like you feel like it dealt a serious blow to your self-worth. I'm trying to like it's like you're beating yourself up, because it's like, how could I let this person get away with, like, this crap. And again, even though you left before the Three of Swords, I mean, I understand that feeling of being like, dude, I should have left before this, happened, and then I should have definitely left before that happened. So it's that kind of energy that I'm getting, guys. So definitely, an area to be patient with yourself here. It's really truly understanding at the end of the day that it simply just is, guys, and there's nothing we can do. We can't control we can't control anything that happened in the past, first and foremost. And what's happening now in the present, you're listening to this right now, it simply just is, so this stuff has just happened. And in time, when you're truly you'll know, in time when you're really truly have let the energies go and alchemize them, you'll be able to reach a place where of forgiveness, of understanding that this person wasn't doing this to you personally. It's not like they targeted you and went straight for you. It was more so just like, your paths happened to cross. Maybe you found this person somehow and reached out to them. But it's understanding, guys, that because I was there too in my last relationship, where I look back now and I'm just like, it's kind of cringe, because you're like, oh, why I should just like mind you, I definitely left with some bangs, but those may be stories for another day, guys. Crazy shit, man. But anyway, so just guys, I'm trying to tell you, I'm so fucking proud of you. Excuse my language. That's how excited I am that of the energies, and I hope it's still kind of early in the morning, so I'm also kind of tired, but no, I am so excited that you guys have the freaking strength. You were like, nah, bro, I'm out of this. So don't beat yourself up in terms of, having gone off these breadcrumbs or however the situation is to you. Okay. Now, an area that you can be kinder to yourself, we do have the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles really is about material comforts, guys. So I'm having, the first thought that I'm feeling is you may have, let's just say, it doesn't, because again, I feel like it was still early on that you were with this person, but maybe you guys saw each other a lot to where you had quite a few things over at their house, let's just say. But that doesn't even matter. I feel like you may have even left some things that you actually would prefer to get back, or maybe there were, a very nice, I don't know, whatever the case is, right? You don't even care. You wouldn't even reach back out for it. It's to you, it's just gone. It's gone and lost. At the end of the day, it's these things are just things, and you literally are just moving on. So don't worry about, oh, I left, so many things, guys. I mean, not that it was even taken from you, but it truly is what was taken from you will return to you, and in even bigger fold. Okay, so where can you be kinder to yourself? This card shows up as a reminder for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor, okay, and to savor the finer things in life. Okay, so I don't know, perhaps maybe take it as it resonates. You could have perhaps done a lot for this person, took them out to eat a lot, or bought them really cool things, or took them out to nice places. And you're thinking, and you're just kind of looking back on it now, and you're just that's just kind of, I don't know, the energy that I'm feeling. But you guys have high standards for partners, and clearly so, because you left it again at the Two of Swords. But at this time, guys, you're just working on balancing your love and your independence, okay? I mean, clearly so, because you did not let this person take your independence away. That you didn't let them take your light away, okay? And surely not your stability here, not your success, not your achievement, and not just your overall aura. I feel like your aura is very you're a very leisurely person. But guys, so just be kind and patient on yourself, okay? Where can you be kinder to yourself? It's just, this card is a positive indication that better times are around the corner, guys. So I just feel that if you've been in the process of moving or experiencing troubles at home. So, and I was going to say that earlier, but I wasn't sure if you were necessarily living with this person or not. Maybe you could have just moved in. And then like within about like a month and a half to 2 months, it just like you really saw that side to them where you were like, no, this isn't going to work, you know? So really, guys, I already said it earlier, you have the strength. You're going to come out of this pretty quickly, okay? That's not to say you didn't care about this person. You really did. You know, especially with the Three of Cups, like you really fancied them, right? You thought they looked good, and you were just waiting to see the rest of it. But you know, you found out pretty quickly. Now we have the Page of Pentacles coming in the reverse, and this is coming in for energies and strategies to draw on. So the Page of Pentacles, this is an offer. This really is like a dependable man. That's why I said like you can't, or like this person's offer, it was very immature, something that you ultimately were not able to depend on, okay? But yeah, this person, you know, they lacked true commitment. You know, they were non-committal. They were foolish and immature. And for you, this is showing up because it's like, this often shows up when you feel that you've lost sight of why you pursued something to begin with. And so it's kind of like, you know, draw on that, you know, and that's all we can do is reflect on, okay, what about this past situation led me to pursuing, right? And like, what is it about this energy that I, you know, was attracting, or was again, it's like they caught your eye, right? So all you can do is understand, okay, why did they catch my eye? And then what, you know, ended up unfolding, right? And then, you know, when you think about this kind of stuff, you may feel like scattered and stuck. But, you know, it's essentially, guys, it's like to avoid repeating past mistakes, or to avoid getting into the same karmic cycles, or to avoid getting into the same loops of energies, you know, that people find themselves. As I say that, if you guys are familiar with Aaron Doty, he often talks about a story where he grew up with a stepmother of his, and his stepmother was just super controlling, super, like, didn't let him have friends, that kind of thing. Just really weird behaviors. Well, somehow after all this said and done, he ends up at some point, I believe, moving out. I don't know if that was before or after. Ends up working, getting a job and working, ends up at the end of the day realizing that his direct manager basically embodied the same qualities and energy as his stepmother. So he had to take a look at that, like, what the heck is going on, and why, like, you know, so he went within to see what he could change about his self. But essentially what I'm saying here, guys, is reflecting on all this, you know, that's what this is where you need to draw your energies and strategies from, is just taking a look, you know, reflecting. And so with that could be journaling, breath work, meditation, you know, definitely meditation if you are called to do so. You know, and essentially, as I was saying, just to avoid repeating past mistakes, you must use your natural inclinations and common sense, okay? And carefully check the information received. You know, do not rely on superficial knowledge, right? Which you didn't, guys. I mean, maybe you did for a little bit, and that's what you're looking back on and being like, I freaking knew better. Like, why did you, you know, and kind of like getting upset with yourself. But guys, like, literally don't fret. You know, we trust me when I say a majority of us, myself included, have been in that situation. And it's like, But the fact of the matter is, in a way, I'm grateful. We should be grateful for these experiences because it allows us to understand what we don't want so that we can attract what we do want, right? Like, universe, source, that was not what no. Like, look, I know I attracted it, but no. I close the door, their energy's gone, I'm attracting you. And that's all you got to do. So you're moving in the right direction, but there was definitely something here, guys. Let's just see, what are these, or what's this person's intentions? They want it to work out with the world here. They basically want success with you. And you're literally just focused on yourself. Yeah. With the Queen of Pentacles here, again, the Queen of Pentacles, not again, I don't think I've said this, but the Queen of Pentacles really speaks to like a generous energy. And so does the Six of Pentacles when technically in the upright. Even if it was in the upright, along with all these other cards, it doesn't matter. But the energy that's flowing off of this card is like, this person is not generous. This person is a taker. They feed off others' energies. There's no again, you did what you had to do, because there's absolutely no, what was I trying to say? You guys aren't on the same wavelength, and energetically. But right, we all have the free will to do what it is we want. But no, you guys, what I was trying to say is you guys aren't compatible, And that's the thing. I think in their mind, their twisted mind over here, is that that they think they're going to be able to have a chance with you again because you're so generous, because you're so kind, because you're so just prosperous, like your light, your energy. It's like, oh, I'm just going to kind of be able to come back in. But no, guys, I'm telling you, you guys are really moving forward with such beautiful energy. This is like, you're just going to be focused on yourself and your friends and having a good time, really just enjoying your journey. So super happy to see that. I'll pull a final advice card to close. The Page of Wands. Okay, there could be, so that's this past person. There could be another past person that may try to reach out to you. They may not. This could just be someone that's thinking about you. Also another Page energy. So if there's, maybe before this person there was another immature energy you dated, that could be this person. And again, the Page of Wands really is about a message. So I feel that whoever is thinking about you, they may be wanting to send a message, but whether they are or aren't, and again, I don't know if this person is blocked or not. But I think, okay, I see now. Okay. I was like, well, why did you give me this? Okay, I get it. It's fine. I feel, okay, so this, again, is coming in as your advice card. So the fact that the energy of that card speaks to a message is the fact that your advice is to never reach back out to this person. Don't send them a message. Don't reach out to them. If it so resonates with you, I would suggest blocking them. And blocking them when you understand that you can block them and not obsess on, well, what if they were to try to reach out? What if it doesn't matter? That's when you really close a door energetically, Also, knowing that, say if you were to run out or run into this person out one day when you're out, just unbeknownst to you, or somehow they are able to get a message in through you somehow. Maybe they use a friend's account or create a new account, that you're able to see that energy come through, pay it no mind. Like maybe you do get a message. You can, it's like you don't even have to open the message and read it. You just delete it, block, and move on. That's what I'm talking about, guys. It's like I just thought about this, and it's actually really cool. Think of this past person, you know, these past pages. I don't know what I did with the other page, but think of these past pages, okay, as annoying mosquitoes. You know, just just buzzing around. It's like, get away from me type of thing. But anyway, yeah, lovers in the reverse, guys. You know, this person is now essentially an opponent to you. So, but you know, forgive them when the time is right. Forgive yourself. Forgive the situation. Remembering that, guys, this wasn't like it just happened. This situation just happened, okay? But you're going in the right direction. Really proud of you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.